Hi everyone, and welcome back to Keep the Peace. We're back with another Ninjago Dragons Rising review. This time for set number 71793, Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon. This set has 479 pieces, goes for $54.99 in dollars, $52.99 in euros, and $46.99 in pounds. We got these sets early from the LEGO Ambassador Network, so big thank you to the LEGO Ambassador Network for letting us make these reviews. But that being said, I'm going to give you my honest opinions in this. So without further ado, let's get into things. Here's a look at everything you get with this set. Minifigure wise, we get for our ninja, Kai and Lloyd. We get this new character, Wildfire. And for Imperium, we get Lord Raz and the Imperium Claw Hunter. Build wise, we have of course the big dragon build. And we have the battle hovercraft for Raz. First, let's look at the minifigures. We're gonna start with our ninja, Lloyd and Kai. Both of them have the new suits that work with this new armor piece and mask, and they also have some nice printing on their torso and legs. These new suits kinda have this printed mask designs on their face prints. It's similar to the Prime Empire suits, and they have like cartoony eyes as well. When we turn them to the sides, you can see that Lloyd has dark green hands while Kai has dark red hands. And on the back you can see this new armor piece can hold 2 katanas. Without all that armor, we get a better look at all that beautiful printing. And I also turned the alternative face prints towards the fronts here so we can see the nice new ninja faces. Overall, I'd say these suit designs are a bit more simple, but I think that works well with the more complex armor piece. They all have some golden details as well as their first letter of their name in Ninjago on their suit. The printing really nicely goes from the torso into the legs, and they have a cool belt as well. When we turn them to the back, you can see they both have this dragon design. Lloyd one has like green swirls around it, while Kai has fire. You also get a better look at those mask designs. Lloyd's has scales, while Kai has red flames around it. Here's a look at the ninja without their armor piece but with the hoods on. Kinda looks a little bit goofy. Here they are with their other faces underneath the hood and shoulder armor. And I also wanted to show you the ninja with their hair pieces, even though these sets don't come with any hair pieces, but I think they look really cool and they are featured in a lot of trailers like this. Here's also how they look with the hair pieces with headband. I also think those work very well. We also get 3 more figures in the set. From left to right we have Wildfire, Lord Raz and the Imperium Claw Hunter. Wildfire reuses Chunga's hairpiece from Lego Monkey Kid. She has this big golden crescent on the top of her hair, which kinda looks a bit copperish, but I think that's just because it's gold printed on red. She has a bit of an angry look and with a little scratch or some dirt on her cheek. Design wise, she really looks like she's going to be a fun character. Wildfire has a sand green torso with this nice kimono or robe print on it, uses very fiery colors, and there's like a fire symbol on her belt. She also has very nice printing on her legs where the cloth looks a bit torn. Raz and the Imperium Claw Hunter both have very regal designs. They use a lot of gold. Both of them wear this new golden armor piece. Raz also has this new wolf head. This is a printed piece. Sadly, the teeth aren't printed. I really wish they were printed to look more like in the show. He wears this red vest with cool golden designs on it, and he has armor on his legs. You can already kinda see that he has arm printing, but you'll get a better look at that in a second. The Imperium Claw Hunter wears this golden suit of armor. He has a lot of metallic printing, super detailed armor printing with like orange energy lines, some dark red. It looks very high tech. He also has this very bug-like headgear piece that works very well with the printed face. On the back you can see that this new armor piece has 1 stud where you can add pieces, and Wildfire has a little bit of printing on her back as well. It fits very well with her robe design. Without some of the gear pieces you can see the printing a lot better. Especially for the Imperium characters you can see all the nice golden details, especially for Raz you can see the cool cloth. On the back you can also see for Wildfire she has no second face, but you can see a bit of printing on her collar that was covered by her hair. Raz, you have this cool golden symbol, and with the Claw Hunter on the back of the head you have this nice technological robot looking print, as well as the continuation of his cool armor on the back of the torso. This set of course also comes with gear pieces for some of the minifigures. Wildfire has what they call fire fists. These pieces are commonly used in LEGO superhero sets, and you can push on the back of them to fire them. The Imperium Claw Hunter comes with one of the Imperium blades. This is a piece that comes in a lot of these new Ninjago sets. It's a dual molded sword piece. with a trans orange blade and a gunmetal hilt. It looks very nice. It reminds me a lot of the Kitanas, but I really like the look of this blade. Raz has a bit of a more personalized weapon. He has this brick-built hammer. It fits very well with the Imperium aesthetic. It's mostly gold with some trans orange cheese slopes, but it uses roller skate pieces, for example, for extra detail, and looks very cool. Now, let's take a look at the Lava Dragon itself. We'll start out in what they call the peaceful mode in some of the set description. We have the nice head here in the front with the big 2 horns. We have a long neck, a very long and nicely shaped body. The front legs with some nice golden blades, as well as the very much smaller hind legs. And of course we also have a little tail. The other side looks basically the same. This set is mostly symmetrical. We'll look at all of that in a bit more detail. We're gonna start out with the head. This is kind of what we learned to expect in recent years with this big, newer molded dragon head pieces. We have very nice printing on this one, and you can of course move the jaw. It can be opened and closed. It has these double clips in the back that allow it to be moved, and you can kind of give it an underbite, for example, or an overbite. If we move the head down a bit, you can see there's a sticker on top. It has some armor details and what seems to be some kind of symbol. It might be a Ninjago K, but it would be very stylized. You can of course also see the big horns, and on the other side we of course have the same print as on this one. If you look at the bottom of the head, you sadly see it's not very well covered. There's a bunch of open studs here. That could have definitely been covered a bit better. Moving on towards the back of the dragon, you can see there's a lot of nice shaping here. They use a lot of slopes to make the dragon look very rounded. There's 2 spikes on the back. From the side view, you can see there's a saddle on the top and on the bottom of the dragon. This will of course be important for the transformation later on. These are just connected with clips, so you could easily just take them off if you don't want it to have a saddle. On the saddle, you can just very easily put your minifigure so it has a place to sit on the dragon. Under the head here in the front, you can see this area with this nicer, lighter color. There are some stickers on these big slopes. They have some purple detailing that leads towards the purple dragon energy core, which I think is very nice. You also have a hinge for the neck, so you can move that up and down. The front legs have this kind of angled design. You have this new mech armor piece in dark red, which looks very nice. You have a sticker that adds some detailing for some dragon scales. And you have, of course, these golden blades. You don't really have any wings in this dragon, but I think these golden blades add a nice look with the different sizes of blades. The lower part of the leg is angled with a Technic connector, and the foot itself is attached with a Mixel ball joint, so it's very posable. And also the claws are individually posable. All the feet are built exactly the same, so that applies for all of them. On the very top of the leg, you have one of those classic rigid joints in the shoulder, so you can move it up and down, as well as forward and backwards. When we move the legs out of the way, we can already see the dragon energy core shooting function here on the belly of the dragon. The dragon energy core itself is in this red holder piece, and you can basically use this Technic piece as a trigger to fire the dragon energy core. Of course, it's a lot easier to access this function in the other configuration, but I want to show you that it also works in the peaceful mode. The hind legs of the dragon are pretty simple and a lot smaller. They are built around a lot of Technic pieces, and they use the same foot design. They're also connected on a ratchet joint, so you can move them in the same way up and down and side to side. If you look at the dragon from the back, you can sadly kinda see that the legs aren't covered very nicely from the back angle. I think this is a result of them having to look good from both sides, like inside and outside, for the transformation function, and then this side basically shows you all the brackets that are needed to achieve that look. Especially for the hind legs, you can see a lot of the Technic though, but overall I don't think this is an issue in the grand scheme of things. Now we want to transform the dragon in what they call the battle mode. So what we want to do first is we flip up the hind legs. We also flip up the front legs, we turn it around, do the same of course on the other side. You might have to flip up the tail if it's in the way, and then you can just rotate the head. Now you have this more angry, bent down looking version of the dragon. In this version, the head is of course a lot closer to the ground. It is still movable on that ball joint connection, and a lot of the lighter colored parts that were before under the head are now above it. You can once again see those stickers, they lead to the dragon energy core again. The neck is still movable, but it's a bit limited by the ground. In this transformation, it's a lot easier to shoot the dragon energy core. Something I noticed here is though you want to have your hand under his belly while shooting the Dragon Energy Core, otherwise if you just press the Technic piece, the legs won't hold up and the dragon will collapse. Because we flipped the legs for the transformation, they look a little bit different. They now have a different sticker on them with some purple, as well as this golden 2x2 round tile. The blades are also now closer towards the body of the dragon. The back legs look pretty much exactly the same because they are symmetrical on both sides. What was the light belly of the dragon earlier is now on the back, and you can kind of see that the tail is also still movable. The overall dragon is symmetrical, so it looks the same on the other side even in this configuration. Aside from the dragon, we also get this little battle hovercraft for Raz. This is a very small little speeder-like vehicle that's mounted on an orange dish, so we can easily rotate it here. It has some claws in the front where you can put the Dragon Energy Core, and you also have a nice sticker here in the front with some Imperium designs. We have some side panels for protection and some golden levers for control, and in the back you have two round tiles as engines. If we want to put in Raz, we have to move the levers out of the way and then you can just sit him in there. On the back we also have some stud shooters and wow, this one came back. You can rotate this around very easily because it's on like one of those rotatable plate pieces. But the idea here is to shoot the Dragon Energy Core at it from the dragon and basically send the whole vehicle spinning. So let's try that. Oh yay, we did it! I also wanted to give you a better look at the Dragon Energy Core. This one has a very nice purple color and is exclusive to this set. We also get of course some extra pieces in the set as always, nothing too crazy, a lot of it here is ammunitions for those stud shooters. And we get quite a lot of stickers for a set this size. A lot of them are actually the same and are just like some scale details for the dragons. I think you could even leave off many of these and it would still look pretty good, but there are a lot of stickers here. This set comes with one instruction booklet. Once again, it has the style with the little progress bar. This time it's Lloyd giving you the progress in your building process. It also has some pictures how the transformation works and an ad for all the other sets in the back. Okay, I think it's time for my final thoughts. Overall, I think the dragon in the set is pretty nicely shaped, and I also really like the color scheme. The transformation feature itself, which is kind of like the big selling point, I think it's very simple. I think it doesn't like shock me or anything. It isn't like a crazy cool function. It's very simple, but I mean that's not a bad thing. I think it works well with the dragon. He looks kind of cool in both configurations. My big hope for this function was that it's gonna look very good from all angles because of it. Because like the belly, for example, is gonna be the back in the other configuration, so it has to look nice. And I think for the most part they achieved that. What I didn't see when we get the first set pictures was that the back of the legs is gonna have all the anti-studs. I was hoping that it's not gonna have any of that anywhere. That's gonna be covered all sides around. But I mean, I get why. Building wise, you have to have the bracket somewhere. I get it, and it doesn't look too bad. But kind of like I had hoped that it's gonna be nicely tiled up and sloped up from all sides. The building experience for the set overall was a lot of fun too. There's a lot of like bracket building going on in that torso, so you have like different slopes from all sides and you have this very rounded organic torso shape, which I think is really nice. And I think that's like, for me personally at least, that was the big standout part of the set, like the way they built that torso. And that was a lot of fun. The shooting function works very well, shoots quite hard actually, so that's cool too. I like different uses they find for the dragon cores in these sets in general. And I also think one big selling point for the set is going to be Wildfire. She's an exclusive minifigure to the set. I can see her be quite the popular character in the show, so I think a lot of people might want to get this set just for her. The set has 479 pieces and goes for $54.99. And I personally sadly have to say I think that's too expensive. I think that price range is actually pretty interesting for a dragon set in Ninjago. It kind of puts it in between like the more upper end core Evo dragons and like something like Lloyd's Legendary Dragon or like the bigger dragon builds. And I think that's a pretty interesting area to have a cool dragon build in. But I feel like for that price, I feel like there's not enough like mass, not enough weight, not enough bricks to this set specifically. I would wish it would be either like a bit bigger or have like a more built out tail or maybe have wings, for example. But sadly, like the way it is right now, I think that price is a bit too high for what I'd be willing to pay for a set like this. I think that about covers my thoughts for the set. I want to thank you all very much for watching this review. And I also want to thank the LEGO Ambassador Network for sending us these sets early. I hope you tune in for more fun content here on Keep the Peace, and be sure to subscribe. See y'all!